But in devotional service, it's different. We engage ourselves because engaging yourself is nice. I mean, it's nice to engage yourself. And even in one sense, as Bhagavad Gita explains, we're not really attached to the results. So if I go somewhere, the results aren't so good, I don't get so attached. Like if I spend the time and I drive to see somebody and say, oh, he's out of the country, you can't see him now. And then I go, oh. So it's not the result I wanted, but okay, I'm not attached. At least I get some good activities. As long as I keep moving, I figure as long as I keep moving, I'm doing something that I like. That's the difference. When we watch something, we're a passive participant. Like I was reading today in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, was talking about all the different relationships which you can have with the Lord, starting at, well, it actually starts from dasya ras, which is servitorship, serving the Lord. And then after that comes sakya ras, a friendly relationship with the Lord. And then after that comes vatsalya ras. It's a paternal relationship with the Lord's parents. And then comes madhurya ras, having a relationship with the Lord as a lover. The Lord and his devotee, they're actually lovers, which is very deep relationship. I remember when I was I studied literature, so there was some poets that spoke about having the relationship with the Lord as a lover. Of course, they didn't know who the Lord is so much, but they talked about having a relationship with the Lord as a lover. There was one poet, English poet, John Donne. But those were interesting things because they express something. But then we're reading about all these different relations, and then it says, although one is completely satisfied in the relationship that one has with the Lord, still, if we look at them, we can say impartially, we can see that there's an increase of different sentiments and different relationships with the Lord. The right word is not sentiments. Different increasing involvement, like from dasya ras, it says there's still a little bit of fear because the relationship with the Lord is still one of the Lord is seen as worshipable, and the devotees on a lower level, so there's still a little bit of fear in the relationship. Then it talks about relationship with sakya ras, regarding the Lord as a friend, and then the Lord is seen as equals. And then talking about vatsalya ras, the relationship of maintaining the Lord as like a parent, and then madhurya ras, increased intimacy. So I like reading those things. They're very, very nice. But what I especially remember is a verse about sakya ras. It says, I think it's by Sukadeva Goswami, he says that people cannot imagine that these cowherd boys have already gone through gone through many lives and heaps of different kinds of austerities and so much sukriti, and now they've come to the position of being young boys in their relationship with Krishna as a cowherd boy. They're cowherd boyfriends of Krishna. So I always remember that verse because it says they've already finished with everything. They've gone to all the places of pilgrimage. They've executed all these austerities. They were great sages, and they passed through all these things. And now you look at them, they look like these small young boys who are just like young children who are, Krishna, of course, is an equal age friend of theirs, and they're going out to the pasture grounds. So those things are very interesting to me, like how how these relationships exist. And then it talks about how there's increased intimacy, and it gives the example of the material elements, which are, what is it? Sky, air, fire, water, and earth. So in the quality of sky, there's sound. And in the quality of air, there's sound and touch. And then the quality of fire, there's sound, touch, and form. And then the quality of water, there's sound, touch, form, and taste. And the quality of earth, there's sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. But in the quality of sky, there's a quality of sound, but in the quality of earth also has sound, but it also has sound and touch and form, taste, and smell. So they're increasing, but what was in the previous one is still present in the next one. So it talks about the relationship with Krishna, like in Shantaras, neutrality. There's just regarding being attached to Krishna and being detached from everything mundane. And then in Dasharas, you add the quality of service. So, I mean, I always like this part. It's a little bit, it starts out, this is all the talks between Ramananda Roy and Mahaprabhu in the Ramananda Sambandha, 8th chapter of Madhya Lila. And really is a fascinating chapter. And you think about Ramananda Roy. I mean, who is Ramananda Roy? He's a tax collector. He's there's all these different sons of Bhavananda Roy. He has the sons of, Ramananda Roy and Gopinath, what is it, Gopinath and Gopinath Pattanayaka, and what's the one who is engaged as like a servant of the devotees, Vaninath? I think Vaninath, and then there's also, what are some of the other brothers? Well, Ramananda Roy, of course, is a chief among them, but they're all, Mahaprabhu said all the brothers there are 5 of them. He said they're like the 5 Pandavas. But if you look at Ramananda Roy, he's the principal one, very close to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's, and later years, he's all the time with Ramananda Roy and with also Swarup Damodar. That's who he's talking with. So, but if you look at it, who's Ramananda Roy? It says he's like the governor of Madras. Well, I don't know if that's Prabhupada mentions that title. So he's like a tax collector. He's collecting the taxes, and it's interesting. All these, so many things going on. But the discussions between Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, they're very fascinating. They're very nice. But what do you think, Saraswati? What's going on there in London? More people are coming to the temple?
Well, we have to close for 2 weeks because there is furniture everywhere, and there is drilling and cement and so much going on. So it's like it's not possible to really look after anyone right now. So we
Really?
have, yeah.
What's going on there? You're doing all this building?
There is as I say, there is a disabled toilet, and so they have to put new floor, and so they have to make cement, and then they're fitting the new floor in the Prasan hall. And so there is all the furniture has to move out and like that. So we had to close the temple for 2 weeks, except for those who are coming to help. And of course, the deity worship is going on, and the offerings that's going on, but not to open because it's just not possible to look after people with all this stuff around.
Will you be open for Janmashtami?
Of course, it's on the 26th. We're going to open it in the following Saturday. Yeah, of course, we have to get ready. That's the point there, yeah.
Will you be open for Balaram's appearance day?
Yeah.
All right, nice.
That's why we want to finish everything on time for these festivals. But we are actually reading of Chaitanya Charitamrita. We are in chapter, we still do our reading in the morning. We are chapter 15 of Madhya Lila, when the Lord
Chapter
was
15.
Prasadana at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
Oh,
And there was a section where Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law blasphemes Mahaprabhu when he's taking prasadana. And so it was a lot of explanation there about Vaishnava making offense to Vaishnava. Maybe you can explain a bit more about that.
okay. And that's, yeah, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law. What is it? His son-in-law.
Amoga or something? Amoga or
Yeah.
something. 15.
Yeah. When you hear about it's interesting what constitutes the offense and what he said and everything. It's like Amoga, he was this fault-finding person. That was his nature. But Mahaprabhu and his Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's wife, who's called Sati Mata. What is it? Sachi Mata, is it? No.
Sati, I think.
Sati Mata.
Mm.
That his Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's wife is known as Sati Mata, as the mother of Sati, which is an unusual name for, but that's what she's called. And Sati is, I guess, married to Amoga.
Mm-hmm.
And Moga is then the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya invited Mahaprabhu to come to his house so that they could feed him. So, what is it? Starts out by saying that they wanted Mahaprabhu to come to the house and eat in the house. What was it? Every day for a month?
Yeah.
And then Mahaprabhu said, impossible. Well, can't do that. Then he said, well, then maybe every other day. And no, Mahaprabhu, and finally Mahaprabhu, he says, no. No, then I will go there only one day. But then Sarvabhauma still argued, and he said, no, we'll do this, that you'll come, there are 10 sannyasis, so they would all come for one day each, right? And then you and I guess, is it Swarup Damodar? You will both come for, 10 days, which will be like five. He worked it out so that the whole month would be filled, but Mahaprabhu would only go there for, remember how Mahaprabhu would go there for what? How many days? One day? And
maybe it was
more days. But anyway, but then it was, and then Swarup Damodar, what was it? There were 10 sannyasis. They would go for 10 days, one day each for the 10 days. And then there would be, somehow or other, he filled out the whole month. And then Mahaprabhu would go for, I forget, so many days, and then it was determined that Mahaprabhu would go there that day. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya built like a new arrangement. He had a kitchen with a room attached to the kitchen, and there's two doors, one door for entering the kitchen and one door for serving out the prasadam, so that it would be very hot. That's a nice arrangement, that prasadam would go directly, offered and go directly to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu went there with Nityananda, was it? Let me
So
think.
only one day that the Lord accepted prasadam there.
Okay.
Oh, no. And they kept discussing it, and then finally they decided that it was 5 days.
5 days for Mahaprabhu and 5 days for Swarup Damodar, is like that. Can you look it up and see, because there's arrangement to fill out the whole month.
Yeah. So Mahaprabhu 5 days, and Paramananda Puri accepted a 5-day invitation.
And any days for Nityananda Prabhu, or is he not present?
And also for Swarup Damodar.
Swarup Damodar.
And the other sannyasis will take invitation for 2 days only, each, 2 days each.
Then there's 10 sannyasis, right?
Yeah.
So that's 20 days. And then 20 days for the sannyasis, then what is it? Can you see?
I'm looking at it.
Let me see.
All right, the 10 sannyasis: Paramananda Puri, Swarup Damodar, Brahmananda Puri, Brahmananda Bharati, Vishnu Puri, Kesava Puri, Krishnananda Puri, Nishrinha Tirtha, Sukananda Puri, and Satyananda Bharati.
Yeah, 10 sannyasis. Each of them for what? How many days?
It's not very clear about how many days.
No, it is clear. I forget and you forget, but it's clear there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Okay. For the entire month, consisting of 30 days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would visit 5 days, Paramananda Puri Goswami 5 days, Swarup Damodar 4 days, and the 8 other sannyasis 2 days each. In this way, the 30 days of the month were completed.
Okay. So then Mahaprabhu goes there the first day, right?
Yeah.
And Nityananda is not present, right?
No, not Nityananda.
Okay. He's back in Bengal. So then Mahaprabhu goes there on the first day. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is cooking along with his wife. And it says that they made so many preparations. They made every preparation that is known to Bengal. Like they've cooked so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have it on, what is it? There's 3 plates, right?
Yeah, there is quite a lot of preparations, like so many.
And what are the 3 plates? Can you read the 3? What is one plate is for the deities, right? Or maybe I'm thinking of at Advaita Acharya's house. So anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
He had the Salagram Sila, I think.
Okay. That's for the deity. And then, let's see.
Yeah, it says here the food was offered to Salagram Narayan. And
Okay.
he also brought prasadam from Jagannath Puri.
Yeah.
Jagannath from Jagannath temple.
Okay. And does it say about the other plate?
No. Only says here that it was offered to the Salagram Shila, Narayan.
Okay. And then Mahaprabhu is going to take prasadam, and they're going to bring all the prasadam will be, served to Mahaprabhu hot, I guess it is, right from the kitchen directly into that room. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he knows that Amoga is always criticizing, so he has a stick in his hand, and he is making sure that Amoga can't get into the room. But then one time when Sarvabhauma is a little busy and he's not watching, then Amoga comes into the room, and then he sees so much prasadam, and he begins to exclaim, how can one sannyasi eat all this, that it is more than 10 people could eat? Or he begins, how can anyone eat so much prasadam? It's impossible. And he criticizes. And then when he says that, then all of a sudden Sarvabhauma sees him and hears him, and then Sarvabhauma begins running after him. Sarvabhauma wants to beat him with a stick, and Amoga begins running. And Amoga runs, and then Sarvabhauma is chasing him. But because Amoga is much younger than Sarvabhauma, of course, Sarvabhauma can't catch Amoga, but he runs after him. And finally, Amoga runs away. And then Amoga becomes ill, and he catches cholera. So before that, Sarvabhauma tells his wife, you have to disown Amoga, because he has criticized the Lord, and therefore he must be rejected. And you have to tell Sati that she can no longer consider Amoga as her husband. She has to leave him. And all these very drastic things, but this is what it means to criticize, to make Vaishnava aparad, or to criticize the Lord, that they're telling him, now you have to leave Amoga. Now you have to break your relationship. Amoga is no longer welcome in this house. He has to do like that. You have to do like that. So everyone's disowning Amoga. In the meantime, Amoga becomes ill. He catches cholera. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya hears that Amoga is dying, and he says, good. He says, good. He says, I would have killed Amoga, but I can't kill him, because there's an injunction in the scriptures that says you can't kill a Brahmin. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is thinking he's a Brahmin, and Amoga is also a Brahmin, so he can't be killed. And then it mentions, well, then a fitting punishment would be to cut out his tongue, and all these drastic, terrible things. And then Sarvabhauma is saying, but I couldn't do all these things. But now providence, meaning some divine arrangement has happened, that Amoga's gotten cholera. Now he's going to die from the cholera. So good. What I wanted to do, but I couldn't do, now it's all been arranged. So I'm happy with that arrangement. I mean, they're all thinking how terrible it is. But of course, this is not the Lord's plan. The Lord's plan is not to kill Amoga. But Amoga has now gotten really ill. And when Mahaprabhu hears that Amoga is dying, Mahaprabhu runs. Mahaprabhu runs to where is Amoga. And then what does he say to Amoga? He said, the heart of a Brahmin is naturally pure and happy. And how have you allowed your heart, which should be the most pure place in the world, how have you allowed your heart to become contaminated and like this? And Mahaprabhu, he forgives Amoga and frees him from the cholera just by his touch. And then Amoga, now free from the cholera, he gets up and he says, by this mouth I have blasphemed the Lord. And he begins slapping his face over and over and over again till his cheeks all become swollen. And then who is it that stops? Is it Mahaprabhu who stops him from slapping, right? Mahaprabhu stops him from slapping?
We haven't got to that part yet, Maharaj.
Okay. Anyway, this whole chapter is about talking about the nature of Vaishnava Aparad and how nothing can stop our spiritual advancement except Vaishnava Aparad. So this is it's a very good lesson to avoid Vaishnava Aparad. We're always in touch with Vaishnavas, even the children. We don't want to make anyone an offense to anyone, even little children. We don't want to offend them. We want to be very careful to avoid Vaishnava Aparad. We don't know who we're dealing with. We see somebody's in a young body, somebody's in an older body, but they're all Vaishnavas. So anyway, this chapter about Amogas, it's a very nice presentation about avoiding Vaishnava Aparad. So
it was Gopinath Acharya who stopped him from
hitting himself.
Yeah.
Well, then Mahaprabhu said, what did you say? That because of your relationship with Gopinath Acharya, then the Lord has forgiven you?
You are the object of my affection because you are the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Because he was the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya.
Okay. Anyway, very nice chapter. We still have devotees named Amoga. So even though he started out as an offender, he was forgiven by the Lord. So that's the chapter you're reading. I'm reading again, but I'm on chapter 8 because many things happen and I didn't continue to read as regularly as I normally do because we had the Govinda Mela and then I went to Mexico and this happened and then become ill and I came back here and many excuses. I have many excuses for not keeping up with the reading. But today I read from the 8th chapter of Madhya Lila about the Ramananda Sambad. Nice chapter. So who's doing all the work in the temple and where do you live?
I live 10 minutes away from there. I live. My son stays with me. My son Chaitanya. I kind of look after him.
Okay, good. And who's living in the temple?
Right now it's Lavanya Mayi and Radharani Dasi from Colombia, Jagannath Balava from Colombia, Dina Dayal Prabhu from Colombia, and Lalita Sundari from Colombia, and Krishna Gopal from Russia.
Okay.
But Dina Dayal and Jagannath, they will be going to India soon after the festival.
Dina Dayal and Jagannath.
No, Jagannath is going back to Colombia, sorry. And Dina Dayal going to India and Lalita Sundari. So the crew that will stay behind will be small again.
Lalita Sundari is from
Colombia.
okay.
Yeah, so the work is being done by a plumber and another person is fitting the floor, a professional. And the devotees are helping around with different things.
And do you have to use one of those same things that you were using before, the masticator or what's it called?
Macerata. No. That is finished. Not more macerators, Maharaj.
Like
That
good.
is not.
That
That is
thing terrible.
I know that's terrible. We have removed those macerators. No more macerators for the building.
Okay, but the bathrooms are in different places now, though, huh?
No, it's just opposite. Opposite.
On the other side of the hall?
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
fine.
mostly some places don't have their own bathroom in the room, own suites.
And they never did almost.
No, so I mean, if we could, but we couldn't make the arrangement in that area.
Yeah, that was good. Good.
Yeah, and
Okay.
we had some nice area for the children now prepared, a bit in the garden, so they can be there, and we are going to do some activities with them.
Okay.
Yeah. I have another question, Maharaj, from the anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yeah, it is about the month of Purushottam.
Yeah, that month finishes, what is it, today?
Oh, today.
Huh?
Is it today? I don't know.
Yeah, I think today is Amavasya, and it starts on Amavasya and it finishes on Amavasya.
So
It's like in the West, they have leap year, which is one day every 4 years where they have an extra day on the calendar.
Mm.
But in the lunar calendar, you have one extra month according to the lunar calculations, because there should be 12 months in a year, even with lunar months, but then some months have an extra month. There's within that period of time, there's an extra month. So then that extra month is called the Purushottama month. It's like an extra month that's added. Otherwise, if you didn't do that, the whole calendar would change so much that you'd be that everything would keep on going more as it is. Sometimes dates can go from being, according to us, in the month of March, they can be in the month of February or very early in February. So lunar months, in order to keep the calendar, the right number of keep the calendar balanced every 3 years or so. And it's all done according to astrological or astronomical calculations. There's an extra month come in, and and that extra month is called the Purushottama month. So when the Purushottama month gets added, we go from Purnima to Purnima, means full moon to full moon is 1 month, according to us, but when the Purushottama month gets added, it's added, like, I think first you have half of Sridhar it goes from Purnima to Amavasya. Purnima is full moon, Amavasya is new moon. So it goes Purnima to Amavasya is half a month. That's half of the Sridhar month. Then the Purushottama month gets added. So it's an extra month, and it goes from Amavasya to Amavasya. And then on the new moon of the Amavasya, the other half of Sridhar month comes in. So before, everything was really early. Now everything will be very late. So Janmashtami is not till the, what is it, the 7th of September, right?
Mhm.
And because an extra month was added. So we just finishing now that extra month. And I'm okay with that too, because it gives you a little time to catch up with everything, because in the Purushottama month, the only holidays in the Purushottama month are the Ekadasis. The only thing on the calendar is the Ekadasis, and then, okay, the Purnima and Namavasya, but no big holidays on that. So we just finished with the Purushottama month, and now we go back to the calendar. So now have to get ready for Janmashtami, and you're getting ready for the festivals there in London, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of
When
festivals coming up. Radhastami also after that.
when are you going to have the anniversary of the
On the 2nd of September.
2nd of September, and the 7th is Janmashtami?
Yeah. They're very close by.
Yeah, I remember when I was there for the opening of the temple, that it happened. Actually, that happened, what was it? The day before Janmashtami, right?
A few days. I think there was like 2 days or something.
Okay. And then, yeah, we had the celebration of the new temple, and then I think 2 days later we had what was it? We had
Janmashtami and Nandotsava.
Janmashtami and Nandotsava. So for Janmashtami, I think Janmashtami we did, I don't remember, Janmashtami, and then the next day we went to Green Street, right?
Mhm. That's right.
Did we go to Green Street for Janmashtami or for Nandotsava?
For Janmashtami in the night, late.
Okay. Okay. I would like to be there for that, but I have different things to do here. And for me, I can't just leave before Janmashtami, but I will try to come. I will try to come soon to visit there and everything. I talked to Madhusudan Maharaj today, and he told me, what is it? And he said he was going and he would be there, and he's going to Ireland when?
I don't really know. Maybe he's going after.
Okay.
Sure,
Anyway,
actually.
is he going to be there for the festival?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. He's in Italy. He was in Brazil, and now 2 days ago, I think he went back to Italy. So it would be nice if I could go there, but I'll have to go after Janmashtami. But I would like to be there for the deity's anniversary and everything.
I think that you came for the 3 festivals, maybe.
What's that?
I think that you came for 3 festivals since opening.
Yeah, how many years has it been since you opened?
This will be the 9th anniversary.
9th anniversary. Nice.
Yeah,
Who is Dasi? It just says Dasi. Who is that?
that is Anu Krishna.
Anu Krishna. Anu Krishna Dasi?
Yeah,
And where is Lakshmi Kanti?
I don't know. They didn't join today. Maybe she's working.
Yeah.
Maharaj, regarding that question about the Purushottam months, there was a question about how do we glorify in this month? Is there any particular way to do things? Has it got any specific meaning like Kartik or something like that?
Yeah, I was told that Purushottama month was worshipped in a special way, almost like Kartik, as a very special month. But I don't know too many details about how to worship Purushottama month because I was never taught exactly how to do that. But some of the devotees in India, they can explain something about Purushottama month. I think I was told Neriya Maharaj spoke about Purushottama month, but I didn't hear what he said. But he gave some explanation about Purushottama month. Maybe someone who heard that explanation, they could say something about it, but I wasn't. Where's Gaurachandra? Is he here? Oh, Gaurachandra. What about Falguni? Did you hear any explanation about Purushottama month?
No, Maharaj, besides being a very special month to dedicate and do service, like you get extra sukriti for it, because when you do service during this month, and that you should try to serve more the devotees during this month. But other than that, I don't recall having any particular story or what is it about.
Okay.
Andava Maharaj, I was listening to the class, but yes, I didn't get any specifics to about the Purushottam month, like Falguni just said.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Wow. Anyway, was told. Anyway, we heard something that you do extra service in a special month, opportunity to serve the devotees. Krishna Chaitanya, everything is good there and with you?
Janardan Maharaj. Yes, thank you. I'm fine, quite fine.
And so then there's another devotee here from Ukraine. He says he knows you, Nazar.
Yeah, we know each other. He's a
You're
friend
friends?
of mine. Yeah, we are.
Oh, good. What's it say in the chat? Is there anything in the chat? Oh, Tungarasa gave this from Purushottama, the extra month. And there's an explanation by Srila Sridhar Maharaj. So can I read that?
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes the Vedic calendar has 13 months instead of 12. In this regard, the following article was written by Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. It was first published in Bengali as the editorial of the Sri Darshan magazine of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math Navadip of 16th September 1955. 1955. Just see. And this was translated by Bhakti by Tirtha Maharaj, Bhakti
Prapana.
Bhakti Prapana Tirtha Maharaj. This year there is an extra month, Purushottama month. It gives a more favorable opportunity for Krishna Seva, and it is a particularly favorable opportunity for the fortunate jivas. Purushottama month has all good qualities, just like Bhagavan Purushottam himself, and is considered the crown of all months. Even the most holy months, such as Vaishak month, cannot be compared with this Purushottama month. Bhagavan, the Lord himself, has mercifully accepted this month and given it all his power. We know such things by reading Sri Brihan Naradiya Purana. The materialistic Smarta Sampradaya, by their karmic standard of judgment, avoid performing rituals during this month, and they avoid anything considered materially auspicious. By their calculation, this extra month is materially barren or gloomy. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that if we do karma properly, then we gain some capacity to enter within Gyan. Sarvam karma kilam partha Jnane parisamapyate. But the fruit of such knowledge, the knower and the known, are all nirvisesha, or similar to mukti. By doing holy activities, we may be able to attain heaven. But after finishing that good reaction, we return to this world known as Martya Loka, the plane of death. In this way, those who aspire for material things have to undergo reactions to their actions. The devotees of Krishna, however, are worshippers of Kirtaniya Sadahari. The process of worshiping is given in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Nijabhishta Krishna Presta Pacheta Lagiya Nirantara Seva Kore Antarmana Hana. There are 24 hours per day engaged for the service of the Lord, for they do not have a moment for their own sense enjoyment. Let's see, who is, the devotees are 24 hours per day engaged for the service of the Lord, for they do not have a moment for their own sense enjoyment. They cannot tolerate those who are against doing seva, especially those who want some result in this world. When they see these types of jivas, they dislike them more than hell. We can see many scriptural examples of this. Similarly, the worshippers of Svaguna, the plane within the modes of nature, always show their objection to those who are worshippers of the Nirguna, the realm above the modes of nature. There is no lack of scriptural examples here also. The Smartas, those under the rules of mundane nature, their material duties are already scheduled within the regular 12 months, so they dismiss this extra month. However, those who continually spend their time in worshiping and worship and service of the Lord give much attention to this month. They know fruitive activity is a cause of material bondage. However, those who desire material results from fruitive activity consider this month to be barren, to be materially unhealthy. Such persons dismiss this month. Therefore, this extra month feels it is rejected, so it feels the necessity to surrender to its master. The Lord always gives much protection to the surrendered. So he gives all his own wealth and property to this month. And in this way, it takes on his properties and becomes like him. Therefore, the Lord gave his own name, Purushottam, making this extra month the king of all months. He himself glorified this month and gave it to the hand of his most dear devotees, whom he loves as himself. The devotees served the Lord Goloka Bihari Purushottama very happily in this Purushottama month, this month when the materialists are very silent in their activities. So that's an explanation given by Srila Maharaj. And the explanation was given, what, in 1955? So long time ago, about how the devotees can engage themselves in this extra month, this Purushottama month, and how the Lord is very happy with his devotees. Anyway, I knew there was this article and speaking about Purushottama month, how it is considered a very glorious month for doing service to the Lord. Did you see that article also, Saraswati?
No, I didn't see that article before.
Okay.
But it's nice that there is some explanation there.
Yeah. We're always happy that we get some information about increasing devotional service and how this can apply to us. There's so many things that are unknown because we are Westerners and we don't speak Bengali. We don't have access to this information. But we're fortunate to be able to hear from the devotees and hear about the activities of devotional service so that we can increase our own service. So, any other questions from Anonymous or anyone? Saraswati?
For now, I don't have any more questions from Anonymous. Agora Chandra, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. I'm happy to listen everything that you're saying. What is your favorite book, Maharaj?
My favorite book? Well, I like Chaitanya Charitamrita. But there are other books that are very nice too. So many books.
Maharaj, going back to that, the reading from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, like Mahaprabhu, when he was blasphemed by this Amoga, he was not really, he didn't take much notice of that offense. But it was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya who couldn't tolerate the offenses making to the Lord.
Yeah, the Lord, many times we hear that the Lord can't tolerate any offense to his devotees. But some offense to himself, he doesn't take so much notice of. You know, I will show you something that I think, well, never mind. I won't show it, but they make a thing called the the Kindle Touch, which is very old. It came out over, what is it? Over 11 or 12 years ago. And it is like a tablet, and it only has 4 or 5 gigabytes on it, but 4 or 5 gigabytes, you can hold all the books on there. And it's very nice, and it has a thing called e-ink, which looks just like a piece of paper, like printed with ink. And the battery lasts very long time and everything, and you can have all the books with you and read them very nicely. You can even read them outside. It doesn't reflect any sunlight or anything. It's very nice. And because it's old, they still sell them. You can still buy them for $30, like 20 pounds or 25 pounds. You can buy it, have all the books on it. Anyway, that's very nice to be able to read the books like that. It's especially good for books where you can make the type bigger or a little smaller, like. But anyway, it's a mundane thing, but very nice. For $20, $30 to have all the books with you, and the battery never hardly runs out, lasts a long time, and you can read outside, doesn't reflect sunlight, and nice. Anyway, there's some books I still have to read. I haven't read all the books. I read but so many nice books are out there. I'm talking about books that were published in our Math, like Revealed Truth and so many other things. And I always wanted to read that. And I read it, but I wanted to read the full explanations of Upadeshamrita. And now you have so many copies of that there.
I got like 2,000 copies, Maharaj.
Yeah, every devotee should get one to read. It's nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful, actually, very beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, and of course, I think 2 very good books to read is Chaitanya Charitamrita and Prapana Jivanamrita. And then everybody can read Bhagavad Gita, of course. These are scriptures. Then there's so many books by Srila Govinda Maharaj and Guru Maharaj, like that. You can read so many books. Anyway, at this time, I'm going to finish a little early. Does anyone have any more questions? You're well, Saraswati?
Yeah, going on, Maharaj.
Hey, I didn't see Lavanya. She's busy?
Oh, Maharaj, really, it's too busy in the temple. There is no time for anything. And it's very, very busy because moving heavy stuff, buying things, going around in here and there and everywhere is like too much. So everybody's a little bit tired and exhausted.
So when will that be finished?
Well, hopefully by next week should be all finished and we can open again as normal. So
When do you hope to open?
we have this weekend and next week to finish all the preparation, and then we open on the 26th. That means next Saturday.
So while the temple is very busy, everybody can go take meals at Gaurachandra's restaurant.
I think they will be more tired just to travel there, Maharaj. We'll probably just take some. The devotees are cooking. One devotee is cooking for everybody. So one devotee seva is to cook. So that at least that gets covered.
So Gaurachandra and Falguni, How far away from the restaurant do you live? Nobody says anything.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We live like 1.5 hours to the temple, Maharaj.
No, but how far do you live from the restaurant?
We live 15-minute walk.
15-minute walk. And anybody else lives near the restaurant?
Devotees?
Oh, yeah.
No, devotees, no.
Your restaurant is in a place where there's not so many devotees.
Unfortunately, Maharaj, yes.
Luckily, otherwise you will be as it called? you will have the restaurant full of devotees taking all your free food.
No, it's unfortunate. We would like to see more devotees, but maybe we, like Saraswati say, maybe we will not have a restaurant. So it's just a trade-off.
Okay.
But we like devotees, so it's always nice to see them in any form or way.
So Krishna Chaitanya, where are you staying now?
I've been living now for 2 months in Lviv. It's the west of Ukraine.
And how far is that from the temple there?
Probably 25 minutes on foot from this center. There is not actually a temple. There is no temple. There is just a small center. The devotees have a small flat, and there is a Giriraj Didi,
Well,
a brahmachari devotee.
But then didn't Abhidut Maharaj purchase someplace in Ukraine?
It's the center of Ukraine, and it's a countryside. There is a temple called Govinda Land.
And do many devotees live there?
Probably 20 devotees.
No.
No, around 20 devotees, yes.
You,
Some more devotees join when there is a festival. Up to 50 devotees may come.
do you ever go over there for the festivals?
Yeah, from time to time, I join for the festival.
Okay. So you live in a place, what is the place called? Relief or something?
Lviv, Lviv.
How you pronounce? I don't know.
It's actually, it was Polish, it was Austrian, and now it's Ukrainian.
And
it was a part of Poland, yes.
And does Nazar, he lives near there also?
Yes, probably 15 minutes drive from me.
Okay. And did you move there? You moved there 2 months ago?
Yes, just 2 months ago.
Okay.
Before that, we lived probably 80 kilometers from here. And before the war, we lived in the east of Ukraine, the place which Kharkiv city. It's probably 1,200 kilometers from here. So it's the opposite side of the Ukraine.
Yeah, far away.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, good to see all of you. I'm happy you're coming to these things. Then next week I see you again. Maybe what you can do, Saraswati, you can also send me, if there are any special questions, send me the questions. And
yeah, I will do in advance.
okay.
Okay, Maharaj.
Jai Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.
Ay,
Dandava
Yeah.
Maharaj.
Dandavad,
Dandava
Maharaj.
Maharaj, all the devotees.
Dandavad, Dandavad, Falguni, Dandavad, Purachandra Prabhu,
Saraswati, Dandava.
Ananta Govinda,
Dandava.
Ini, Dandavad.
And